Shiva.
I'm Sketch.
And this is AnimeCons TV. We're your source for reports and discussions about AnimeCons and other fan conventions.
Every month, AnimeCons TV takes a break from regular episodes to respond to your comments and questions.
Let's start this month off with emails.
Emails! Alright. We got an email from voice actor Bill Timoni. I'm really bad at pronouncing names. He wrote, "Hi Doug. I thoroughly enjoyed watching your podcast on YouTube. Doing that whole thing on camera for the length of time was most impressive. But most important, your content. You made some excellent observations and you presented them with quite effectively. I particularly enjoyed your use of B-roll images filmed in the convention hallways during the latter part of your presentation. I've been working in anime dubbing since 1991 as a voice actor, ADR director, casting director, and script adapter. I had not made a guest appearance at a con in 17 years.
Wow.
But I made one at Anime Next 18. I found the attendees to be incredibly knowledgeable and enormously welcoming. I had an absolute blast the entire weekend. I'm now actively searching for opportunities to make more con appearances. Yeah. Hopefully it won't be another 17 years between cons for me. No. Thank you for your insight reporting on the con, Bill."
That's a fantastic note. Thank you so much, Bill, for your feedback. I'm sure Doug really appreciates it. He did do an awesome job at Anime Next, and I'm hoping we can do more segments like that are kind of like live footage of the con.
Yeah.
And definitely come to more conventions.
All right.
Next, we got one from Mark. He wrote, "Hello, I've been watching some drama unfold on the Facebook page and the group for the Portland Anime Convention, KomoriCon. They've made 2 dramatic policy changes recently that have really caused an uproar among their attendees. First, they changed the way people will attend autograph sessions. I couldn't care less about getting autographs, but it seems that a lot of people attend just for that. On purpose. I see that the value in the attempt, but it seems like they've damned if they do and damned if they don't. Second, they changed their cosplay and clothing coverage policy. They now require everyone to cover their chest. This means no bare chest and no bare-chested cosplay. Their statement says it's intended to make everyone feel more welcome, mostly pandering to the LGBTQ demographic. Unfortunately, people of all flavors of gender are really unhappy about it. It seems like KomoriCon staff are really going out of their way to make a certain small group of people feel more comfortable at the expense of everyone else. Social engineering isn't something to tamper with. Things got so heated that they were even deleting posts in the discussion. I know one of the staffers involved in both of these changes, and they are frustrated by the response. They feel as though they are doing good, but all they get is pushback. I look at this as the growing pains of a convention that has hovered around 5,000 attendees for a number of years and is being forced to move into a proper convention center. They now have 7,000 plus and are growing. Anyway, this is interesting stuff and I'll keep an eye on it. In fact, their response to the clothing coverage policy may affect whether or not I attend. Sincerely, Mark." And we also have an update from Patrick, who says that since that KomoriCon has since re-revised their policy to be more clear and answer specific questions that appear to now be better understood and well received. So this happens. So conventions update their policies all the time. Especially if they have to move to a new location, sometimes their policies also have to reflect the rules of the location itself. Yeah. I know that the bare-chested thing is actually really common policy almost every convention we go to.
Yeah.
Granted, how that's enforced usually varies a lot. Like, so for example, I know that like I think even Katsucon says literally they're not supposed to be bare-chested, but I've seen people cosplay like Kamina.
Yeah, usually you start seeing the male pasties to just
or to pull the cape over.
Pull the cape over and stuff like that. It all really depends on who's like Shiva said, who's enforcing it at the time, because you have many entities at a convention, especially in the convention center. You have the convention center staff, you have the con itself staff, which are complete different entities, and that dictates stuff, and then whoever is seeing it, and then it's all up to that person's personal judgment.
Right. And I mean, at the same time, it's like they have to go with also what people want to see. Like, for example, I know a lot of these conventions are considered family conventions. They have to be really careful about what they're going to allow that people would not want to bring their children to, for example. Especially with clothing policies, it's really not that uncommon. So I I would hate to see people say they're not going to go because of certain rules like that. However, I mean, that has to be everybody's personal decision, but it sounds like they might have also been a little more clear. It sounds like maybe sometimes when people change the rules too, they make very generalized statements that are clear to them because they're the ones who designed it, but it can be like misinterpreted by people who are just kind of like reacting emotionally to it. So it might also be one of those things too where they just had to be more specific about what they said, and it sounds like once they did that a lot of that's blown over a little bit, but we'll be interested to see what happens.
Keep it surprised. All right, and another email from James. Dear AnimeCons TV, hello and thank you for another month of cool videos. I really like Doug's con report of Montreal Comic Con. I love the con reports that you guys do, especially on how you show us the location of the con as well as what to expect from that convention. Well, I mean, that's all a big part of it.
It is.
Now, I want to attend this convention and Otakuthon. I haven't been to Canada yet, but I want to, and Japan.
Japan's awesome.
Personal bit about us. I found Elizabeth's cosplay help video on heating and designing in foam to be cool. I found that sequence and how she cut the foam and heated it to reveal those shapes and to be awesome. Continues on. I've been watching My Hero Academia
You
season
and
2.
everybody else.
Join us.
No thanks.
Watch it.
No thanks.
And I finished season 3 of RWBY. I like both series. Have you guys seen either of them? And if so, what do you think?
I think most people we know really like them. I've only seen a couple episodes of My Hero Academia. I don't think it's my style, but I can see why people are really into it. What do you think?
I've watched anything that's dubbed. Unfortunately, I have the whole thing with dub. I kind of need dub in my life. It works out better. So I'm a little bit behind, but I watched season 3 just recently. As for RWBY, I have not actually watched any of it, but I do like the production company and all the other stuff they've done prior to that. So as James continues, I still have to finish One Punch Man, though. I have finished that. You should finish that.
I've seen that.
Okay. Till next time, this is your loyal follower and fan, James, the White Kiba. Okay.
He also wants to know what anime we're currently watching.
Currently...
For you, Voltron doesn't really count as an anime, but that's like your...
Well, it's also on
It's in the
Netflix, so
genre.
watching is more like, oh, I spent a day. Right now, I don't have anything specifically on the lineup. I haven't sat down to watch TV.
I actually started watching, because I never watched it before and I always wanted to, was Sword Art Online. And I really like it. So I'm kind of midway through that.
Yeah. There's a postscript. Not to be a bother, but are you guys still going to do future cosplay help videos on how to make your own cosplay shoes and other small attire or accessories that you guys haven't covered yet? I also want to cosplay Makoto Suo from the K Project anime, and I would like to make his necklace someday.
I mean, we definitely are going to be doing more like cosplay help videos, so the ideas of like things to cover are awesome. We usually do tend to cover stuff that we're actually making, and I think we don't make a ton of shoes. Most people don't. They're really hard, other than boot covers maybe. But
I have made some pretty nice boot covers.
I know Elizabeth's made a ton of boot covers too. But, you know, if we happen to be making some, we'll definitely film those for you.
All right. Now on to the YouTube.
On YouTube, in response to Patrick's episode on how conventions can modernize their websites, Maddie wrote, "It amazes me that so many cons still forget to list the city on their landing page." That's very true. "I have a search engine to find out what city it's happening in and then Google Maps to know the general location." This is so true. It's like people tend to forget that some very basic information should always be on your website.
Where are you?
Yeah, where are you? So that we know where do we have to get to find you. What dates are the convention? Like, you know, very specific stuff sometimes is not easy to find.
And the best ones always do it up in the first on the banner.
Yes,
Just
right at the top.
right there, you know, like, oh, when's Anime Boston this year? There it is. Very easy. All right. And Sparrow779, my local con's website is horribly outdated, not mobile friendly, years old photos, etc. And commenting on it in their feedback forums never seems to help. I know they don't want to grow it much, but the site really gives off the feel that this con is redheaded stepchild to the other cons the parent company runs. And it's frustrating because the guy in charge allegedly knows web design.
I I mean, this is one of those situations where I would say, do they take volunteers? Is it something you'd be willing to help them with? I mean, I think that sometimes when these things don't happen, they don't have the bandwidth to take care of it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, in general, a lot of cons are non-profit. They're just who they are. They're fans who do it. Just because you have a group of fans doesn't mean you know every single skill set. We talk about this in our podcast episode about how to run a convention. So maybe suggest that they reach out.
Or it could be this guy that does the web design, right, has too many other things he has to focus his time on. So it might be one of those things too where I feel like the cons that have the best websites are also ones where they have like a whole team of volunteers that can focus on it.
Yeah.
So maybe if you don't have the skill set to do it, if you know people who do and also hate the page and would be willing to donate some of their time, I would reach out. It's hard to tell. It says there's a parent company, so I'm not sure if it's for profit, but most cons aren't. And would probably take you as a volunteer, so something to check out.
And some people like doing the quick pro bono stuff just so they can have something in their resume and portfolio of stuff they've made, so you can always outsource. On Facebook.
Let's see, Jenny writes, glad to see AnimeCons TV is still fighting the good fight. This site is so important to me during my early convention management experience. Yeah, thanks so much. Glad to see you're still with us. And on Twitter, Lacuna Craft wrote, at AnimeCons TV, you guys did it. Congratulations on 1,000 subscriptions. Yes, we finally got 1,000.
Almost took a decade.
Thanks, you guys. Oh my god. Patrick just wants you to. He wants to.
He's out there in spirit bouncing. Now let's take a look at all the conventions that are coming up through September 2018 as found on fancons.com.
Coming up next month on AnimeCons TV, Doug will be headed back to Otakon. Well, it will be their second convention in DC, and they want to know, will it fix some of the problems of their first, and we'll find out in his con report.
Tell your friends. New episodes are every Monday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, means Pacific. We post about them on Facebook and Twitter, so please share or retweet those links and share our YouTube video. Telling your friends about us. This is such an easy thing to do. It really helps us out.
Con season is about to hit full swing. I kind of feel like it already is already.
Yeah.
We love hearing from our viewers, so we need to hear from you before our next feedback episode. So that's at the end of August, so in the next 3 weeks. So if you're watching us on YouTube, leave a comment on one of our videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And we're finally over 1,000, so thank you so much for that. But let's keep it rolling.
We haven't heard many voicemails for a while, so please call 762-ADEQUATE. That's 762-233-7828.
You can also text that number.
And you can also email us at podcast@AnimeConsTV.
You can also subscribe for free to get new episodes every Monday. Search for AnimeCons TV on YouTube.
Or subscribe on iTunes at itunes.animecons.tv.
Or watch on our site at animecons.tv.
Or get the free AnimeCons TV app from Apple TV and watch all our episodes there.
You can also follow Sketch and I on Facebook. I am facebook.com/ShivaCosplay.
Same but sketch cosplay.
And see you next week.